As you already know, some interactions in ProtoPie are static. If you tap this layer, it moves to the static position that you have already chosen. But what if you want to move this layer wherever you tap? To make such a kind of dynamic interaction, you would need to use formula. Let's have a look at how to use formulas in ProtoPie. Here I have a simple rectangle layer and a background. When I tap any position of the background layer, I want the rectangle to move to this exact position. First, we add the most basic interaction, a tap trigger, for the background layer. Then, we need responses. In this case, I want the rectangle layer moves, but I cannot input a specific position here. Because the move position always changes depending on where I tap. To get a dynamic value, we need to use a formula. First, click this icon here to input your formula. If you don't know which formula to use, click this question mark. You will then find a guide with tutorials of our formulas. Plus, it also lists all formulas that are supported by ProtoPie. In this case, we need variables that remember exactly where I tap. By reading the descriptions, I see that these are $touch_X and $touch_Y. Go back to ProtoPie Studio. For the X position, we are going to use the $touch_X formula. So, type $ first and click on touch_X. We do the same for the Y position. So, we will use $touch_Y. And there you go! That's all we needed to do. Wasn't that easy? Remember, if the property of an interaction changes, depending on what you do, you needed to use formula. Thankfully, there are lots of formulas provided in ProtoPie. For example, with $X and Y, the objects moved wherever the cursor was hovering even before you click. With $touch velocity, you can make interactions that are based on your finger's speed and direction. In this demo, I'm trying to hide or show a search menu bar based on the scroll direction. With $touch velocity Y, I make sure that scrolling up makes the search menu bar appear and scrolling down makes it disappear. With $keyboard height, you can make the chat window move up based on the height of your native keyboard. In this formula window, you can input text with the double quotation marks, color values with the sharp, numbers, or variables. By clicking this question mark, you can find out all the basic knowledge about our formulas. You can create complex interactions using formulas without writing any code. Prototyping as easy as pie.